Hi folks, I'm Nath with Two Guys in a Ride, and welcome to our ultimate user guide on the 2025 Toyota Land Cruiser, and this is the 1958 edition. Today, I'll be covering the driver's information and infotainment screens. I'll do a general overview, show you how to access information, and do a deep dive. Let's get started. Today, we're working with our friends at Lead Card Toyota of Mankato in beautiful Mankato, Minnesota. All right, well, it is really fun to finally step into one of the new Land Cruisers. And again, this is the 1958 trim level. So on the driver's dashboard, you have got fixed gauges on the left and the far right. That's your fuel gauge and your engine temp gauge. Those stay there, do not go away. What you have in the middle is a diagonally measured 7-inch digital display where you can manipulate information. All right, I will point out that down at the bottom of the speedometer on the left is your current odometer, and then over on the right bottom is your miles to go. So it says 294 miles. Okay, so to control everything in the driver's information screen, you are going to use the 4 arrows and the OK button and the back button on the left side of the steering wheel. So to start with, I'm just going to press the down button, and you're going to see a little menu appear on the far left. This is typical Toyota, and so they haven't changed that, which is nice. So you still get the familiar general menus. So once you pick one of those, then you're going to get a screen in the middle. Right now, it's just showing our total MPG, and you can press and hold the OK button to reset. I'm going to go use this as the back button. I'm going to go, whoops. Goes away quickly. I'm going to go down one, and you're going to notice right now I've got a compass. You notice I had 2 little dots at the bottom of the screen. So if I go to the left, I get one more screen, and this is my adaptive cruise mode. So in other words, if you're driving and you have adaptive cruise on, you can switch that picture over to a compass if you want. All right, I'm going to go back to the left again, and I'm going to go down, and this is your media. Now, to select sources, you're going to press and hold OK. And then you can go down here. You've got Apple Music, Amazon Music, FM and AM, and Sirius XM. And then you just press OK to select it. All right. Now, to go between your favorites, you have a right and left arrow on the right side of the steering wheel, and you can just press that to go through these. Okay, it's going through the favorites. Okay. Now, I'm going to get back here. I'm going to go to the left again, and I'm going to go down, and you notice I have a lot of little dots at the bottom of the screen. So right now I am on boost gauge, okay, and I've got boost gauge on the left, and I've got the max battery usage gauge on the right. Okay, if I go to one to the right, it brings me back to the beginning of these dots. So here you got basic drive info, how, you know, what's the distance, total trip time. If I press again, you get trip A, and then you're going to press and hold OK to reset any of these. All right, and here's trip B. Here's your tire pressure. I love it that they show you the spare. Okay, traction monitor. If you're in slippery conditions, you can monitor your what's getting grip on the road right there. Go again, you get pitch and roll gauges. You go again, this is your trailer brake control, which you can see the output right there and the gain. So here you get your battery gauge and oil pressure. And here you get oil temperature and transmission temperature. All right, I'm going to go over here. There's those boost gauges I showed you. So that's all in this one screen. Now, if I go down, if I go back, and I go down again, you have all sorts of settings for your safety systems, but also some other things. So let's kind of get back. I want to get back to here. Okay. So you got to press and hold OK to make changes on the ones that don't have an on or off button. So here I got lane departure. Now, I can use the up and down arrows to go between the choices, and then I use the OK button to make the change. So lane departure alert system is currently on. If I press and hold, or just press the OK button, it goes off. Press it again, it goes on. What kind of alert do I want? Well, if I press the OK button, I can have just a tone. I can have a vibrating stereo, and those are my two choices. Now, the alert timing. Okay, earlier Okay, I can click this, and I can go. I believe that is later. So you get earlier and later. Okay, I'm going to use, in this case, I'm going to use the back button, and I'm going to go one to the right. Now, this one has an on button that's directly on the icon, so you just click and let go, and it turns blind spot monitoring off. I'm going to hit the back button. Now, you see it says off. I'm just going to press it again and turns it back on. But if you want to make a change, you're going to click and hold the OK. And then here you go. Support timing. Again, it's all with the OK button. So if I click it, okay, I can make those changes. And honestly, you're going to have to just try these out to see which one is your best setting. They're all kind of set at medium. Here's the brightness of the little light in the mirror that comes on. Buzz alert, if you want, on or off. Okay, and I'm going to go back again. I'm going to go over here. All right, so we looked at this one, which had no on button. We looked at this one, which had an on or an off button written on it. The rest of the buttons work the exact same way as these two. So if I go here, there's no on or off, so I press and hold OK. Gets me to all the changes. Use the OK button and the up and down arrows to make the changes. Okay? Again, if it has an on or off, I just click and it turns that on. And I click again to turn it off. But if I want to make changes, I click and hold. And now, this is the pedestrian detection assistant here. So it's going to help detect pedestrians on the front, left, and right. All right, and I'm going to go back. Okay, I'm going to go one to the right. These are all going to work the same way, so I'm not going to go through each one. I'm just going to click and hold quickly so you can see. Okay, you can change the volume there. Hit the back button. I'm going to go over here. This is the rear cross traffic alert. You can just click to turn it off. Click to turn it on. Press and hold the OK button to adjust. And it's going to be either more sensitive or less sensitive is what the changes are going to be. I think I can just hit this arrow here. Oh, I cannot. You do have to hit the back button. All right, this one is your safety exit alert. So if it's on, we're going to press and hold. Okay, sensitivity, and you want a light in the mirror, on or off. Okay, I'm going to hit the back button. Again, you just click it quickly to turn the safe exit assist off. So it's just going to kind of warn you if something's coming along your way, which is handy. If I go here to one more here, okay, this is going to be sign reading. So I'm going to click it back on, and I'm going to press and hold. Yeah, road traffic sign assistant. Okay. You can go into notification method and get, do I want it above the speed limit? And if you click that, you're going to get, do I want no notification, only visual, and audio, and so forth. All right. Let's go back again. We're going to go back again. We're going to go over one to the right, and we're going to press and hold. Okay. The vehicle will, if your hands are on the steering wheel enough, if your eyes are kind of leaving the road, it's going to suggest you take a break. Okay, you can turn that on or off. Now, dynamic radar cruise control. Okay, I just had to push quickly. How fast do I want it to accelerate after it comes to a stop? This is full range. Okay, do I want a guide message on or off? Curve speed reduction. So, I believe it's if you have a route plotted in your navigation and it senses a curve, it's going to reduce your speed. Okay, it may work without the navigation. I have not tried that out. All right, let's hit the back button, but that's where you can make some of those changes. And then you can select the trailer brake type. Okay, I'm going to hit back here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click and hold here, and you can make you can make language changes here. Those are your choices. Hit the back button. You can change your units here, and there are a couple down here. Yep, just one down there. So there's a few more than what you see at first. And I go down here. You got meter style. Okay, so this is where we can change the look. So we got sporty, which is what we're in. If I go up to tough, it changes to this. And if I go up to smart, it changes to this. Now, in addition to being able to change the look, if I go down to dial type, I can have a tachometer, which is what I currently have, or I can have a speedometer, okay? Or if I click here, I can turn that off altogether and clean up my screen so I don't have so much showing there, which is a nice feature. Simply click here again and select, one of these to take a look at, so you could view something. I'm gonna go back up here. I kind of like this setup with the RPM gauge and the sporty look, but that's just me. All right. Down below, you're going to notice two red lights. I'm going to take my foot off the brake and put them on. Those, folks, are your brake lights. So every time you touch the brake, you're going to see those. I think that's cool that they just threw that in there. And I think I can just go down at this point. Yep. This is messages. So in this screen, if your car needs, let's say windshield wiper fluid is low, or you need an oil change or something like that, this is where those kind of messages will pop up. Okay. Well, that is it for the driver's screen. Next, we're going to move over to the infotainment screen. All right, moving over to the infotainment screen, the 1958 edition has the 8-inch screen that comes with 6 speakers. Upper trim levels will come with a 12.3-inch screen with 10 speakers. So this is the 7-inch screen, but the functions are going to be the same. So whether you have the 12.3 or the 7-inch, it's going to look exactly the same. You're just going to have a bigger screen. So this does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It has Sirius XM with, I believe, is a 6 or 8 month trial. It is 4G Wi-Fi hotspot capable. It has 6 USB ports, 3 of which you can see right underneath the climate control buttons. And then it's got AM, FM, and it's got Amazon Music, it's got Apple Music, and so a lot of stuff in here. So let's get started. First of all, these buttons on the left side of the screen are static. In other words, they don't move. They don't ever change. This is your navigation, and I can't get into it unless I sign into it with the app, and I can't do that. So I can tell you that the system itself is the Toyota Connect system. It's not Google built in. So it's still Toyota system, which I like. The map is very good. It'll come with like instant traffic updates and that kind of stuff. If you've seen another Toyota, the newer Toyotas, it's very responsive. It's a very nice navigation system, and you can control it with voice command. All right, just can't show it to you on this particular vehicle. Now, going down, I've got media. So let's talk about the basics of media. First of all, where are your sources? Well, you've got some right here, but they don't scroll up and down. So I'm seeing 3, FM, AM, and Sirius. But if I click sources, I've also got Apple Music and Amazon Music. Okay? Radio is just going to take us back to this screen. Let's talk then about how do you tune the radio. So, of course, here, let's just go to Sirius XM, which is what we're in. I can scroll through the list here. Okay, and I can click on whatever I want. I can also go through here. These are my favorites, and click on one of my favorites. Okay. What I like about it, well, I'm in favorites. You notice the little heart there? So the way you make a favorite, I'm just going to go to a different channel, is I take and I just click the heart. Okay, mistake, you can quickly undo that. But I want to show you another way to manage your favorites. I'm in favorites right now, okay? If I hit edit, this is where I just added this one. So if I click here on the minus button, it disappears. Or, even better, if you want to reorganize, I want 80 is on 8 to be a little further down. I can just grab that, press and hold for a second, and then drag it. What you're going to notice is that these favorites are your Sirius favorites, your FM, and your AM. They're all mixed together. Okay, so when you're adjusting this, you're adjusting it for all your favorites. Okay, and that's why they only give you one area to edit those. But that's how you delete them. That's how you rearrange them. Okay, let's talk about some other ways to tune. So we were in Sirius XM. You can go by categories if you want, and then select the one that you want, you can hit the channel button right here. Of course, with Sirius XM, you get a couple of other things because sometimes they're live. You can fast forward, go back, and hit play or pause. You can also ask it to notify you if a certain song comes on or certain team or whatever. You can set that all up, but you have to be logged and signed in to do that. Okay, so that's how you're going to tune in Sirius XM. Now, if I go back and I go all the way back here to FM radio, okay, I can look at all stations, and then I can just hit the channels button. If I want to scan, I can do that too. And scan should take you to the next station. Wait there a couple seconds, and then it should move forward to the next station. And then when you're on, yep, see? Now when you're on the one you want, you just tap the scan button, and then that's where it stays. The last way you can tune is just by going to the tune button, and either under FM, AM, or Sirius XM, you can tune. So I'm gonna go to 105. I don't know where I'm going. 105.9. Tune to station. All right, there we go. That happened to be what I tuned to. So that is the other way to tune either in any one of the three radios. Okay, let's go back for a minute and let's go to sources and let's go to Apple Music. Now I'm pretty sure, yep, I think you're gonna have to be subscribed and in order to get that. So I can't show you that. And it's going to be the same with Amazon. And so that is your media. It's how you tune, it's how you make a favorite, it's how you delete a favorite, it's how you manage or rearrange your favorites. Okay, so the next thing I want to look at is phone. And to do that, we're going to connect a phone to it. Okay, so I'm going to connect my Android phone. So on my Android phone, I'm going to go into settings. And then I'm going to click on Bluetooth. Then I'm going to click on connections. All right. After clicking on connections, I'm going to click on Bluetooth. And then I'm going to hit connect a device on my screen. All right. So I'm going to say click on search for devices. And at the bottom of my screen, I'm going to find Toyota Land Cruiser. So I'm going to click on Toyota Land Cruiser. It's found my phone, so I'm going to click on there. It wants to know if this number is the same number as what shows up on my screen, and it is. So I hit OK on this screen, and on my phone, I'm going to hit pair. It wants to know that in case there's another phone in the vicinity and it's found the wrong phone. So you always want to just double check that number. All right, it's now paired. So I'm going to hit done on here. On my phone, it says, do I want the card to be able to access messages? I want to click allow. Do I want it to access my contacts? Allow. And you would want to do the same for your phone. Now, it says here, it's going to use it for phone, it's going to use it for media, but Android Auto is turned off. Okay? Or disconnect or forget. Okay? These two are self-explanatory. These ones I'm going to make a change to. I don't want to connect via Bluetooth for phone and media. That would be fine if my phone was a secondary phone and I wasn't the primary driver, then I would want that. However, I want this. So it's going to take a second. It's going to switch over to Android Auto. Okay, I have very, very, very low reception here, so it's not going to show Google Maps, but this is where Google Maps would show up. These are your most recently used icons, okay? And this one takes you from the split window where you get media, whatever you've been using, and then Google Maps. And by the way, you can flip this, and then you get a little different rectangle here that'll show up with some other information. If I click the dice down here, it's going to take me out of the split window, and it's going to show me all my apps. And on Android Auto, you want to scroll up or down for the apps. And yes, you can click on the arrows if you want, but you can also just swipe the screen. Okay? In Apple CarPlay, the biggest difference is these most commonly used icons will show up on the left, and you swipe left to right to see all the apps. Okay, otherwise they work the same. Okay, and you can of course click on these to go right to them if you want. Again, Google Maps is not going to show up, but you can see that it takes up the whole screen here. Right? The other question is, how do you get back to the Land Cruiser system? Well, and that's easy. You just go to where the Toyota app is and click on that, and then you are back here. Now, if I went to phone, it's actually going to take me to Android Auto. If I had not switched to Android Auto in the settings and left it just phone and Bluetooth, then the Bluetooth version of your phone and media would show up here. But again, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay are so much more useful in that you don't have to go to your phone for anything. It's all right in the screen. And if you set your phone to wake up to your assistant, say, hey, Google, or hey, Siri, you can, use your press and hold your voice command button, and it will go to that assistant. And you can use your voice commands on your phone, which I think is just way awesome. Okay, we're going to get back out of Android Auto now that you know how to set that up. And we're going to go down to the vehicle icon, which is this next one. Now, under climate, you got some settings you can make. Under options, you've got eco, heat, or cool, which is just going to save you some fuel. Going to give you a little better fuel economy. You may not feel as good or as quick, but does it. You've got a de-icer you can turn on or have off, and that's on the front wipers. For this has a tri-zone climate control, so from the screen you can turn the rear off, set the temperature, change the mode, and then you can change the fan speed as well. Or you can have the rear on auto. And then you can do the same for the front, okay? Here's the fan speed. The temperature changes will come just down below the infotainment screen. You have a full set of climate buttons, and I mean full. There is no need to go into the screen, really, unless you want to set some of these options. But the rest is all down here. So down below, while we're talking about climate, you've got your 3-stage heated seats on both sides. You've got your heated steering wheel button right next to the passenger heated seat. You have your auto climate button. And then you've got front defrost, rear defrost, fan off, temperature setting for the driver, AC on or off, fan control. You can switch the modes, like where is it going to blow. And then you can change the passenger temperature. You can sync them all together, which will make everything match the driver. You can turn on the recirculatory, or you can go to rear climate and change everything from the rear with these buttons. So they've made it really, really nice. All right. So the last part we're going to go to is settings. So this is where you're going to set up a profile. And all you got to do is click Get Started, enter your phone number, have the Toyota mobile app downloaded, sign into that, and it's going to walk you through. Just pay attention to the prompts on the screen. All right. Under My Settings, personal info, you can reset everything. Okay, you're selling the vehicle eventually, good place to go. You can look at all your devices, okay? So you can have up to 5, and I could add a different device. Let's say I added an iPhone, okay? But this one is connected to Android Auto, okay? It shows the symbol there, right? But on the next phone I connect, it's going to use it for phone and media, and I will probably just leave it there because for me, the Android phone is the primary phone, right? But my point is you can switch, okay? You change phones someday, you can decide who's actually going to connect to Android Auto or Apple CarPlay and whose phone is actually just going to go to Bluetooth for phone and media. That way, your passenger can take phone calls. They can select songs off their playlists and play them right through the car system. But you're the one using the Android Auto or the Apple CarPlay, so you can have navigation and that kind of stuff running. Okay, let's go back here. So under General, accessibility, if you don't like that screen beep, that's where you turn it off. You're wearing gloves in the winter and you want it more sensitive, that's why Toyota put that in there. Okay, so you can set the sensitivity of your touch. Date and time, you can set things right here, or alternatively, if you're somewhere else, you can just click on the clock and it'll take you right there. Okay? If you use the keyboard and you're selling the car, this is a good place to go just to clear your search history. Language and units, we saw how to change that in the driver screen, but you can do this on the infotainment screen as well, and you're gonna have the same choices. Measurements are set automatically based on regional location. If I turn that off, I can now do miles per gallon US, miles per gallon imperial, kilometers per liter, and all just by clicking on it. Okay? All right. So, let's then go back here. That was under general. Notifications again, software updates. If there's an available update, it's going to notify you. Vehicle suggestions. You know, the navigation and stuff is going to learn where you go most frequently, when you go there, over time. And it's going to ask you, you know, I'll give you suggestions like, would you like to go to Bob's ice cream store at this, you know, right now? Because that's when you usually go to it. Or would you like to listen to this particular radio station because you usually listen to it at that time of day? You can also turn that virtual assistant off completely if that just annoys you. Okay, under Wi-Fi, you can turn the hotspot settings on. So on the Wi-Fi hotspot, it's an AT&T connection, and it is included with the vehicle. Okay, when you buy it, but it's a 30-day or 3 gigabyte trial subscription. So it's not going to last long. And if you want to continue it, you're going to have to pay a monthly fee. This also has Drive Connect, which is actually, when you get the vehicle, it's a 10-year subscription. Okay, so here you get emergency assistance, you get enhanced roadside assistance, automatic collision notification, stolen vehicle notification, and those are really, really nice features if you want them. So that you get a 10-year subscription for, so really, really nice. Now, a 1-year trial subscription, you get a remote connect via the Toyota app. It's on your phone or smartwatch now. And depending on the trim level, it will do things like lock, unlock, start, stop, locate the last parked location, check vehicle status, monitor guest drivers, all that kind of stuff. But all of these are 4G connection dependent. So you have to pay for the Wi-Fi hotspot to get all those things, or the Wi-Fi to get all that. So those are just some things. Service Connect, you can get up to a 10-year trial subscription for that. Okay, and then you just receive personalized maintenance updates and vehicle health reports. Okay, let's go back. Under display, now you can turn the whole screen off if you want. Should be able to tap. It's going to be a 2-tap and it comes back on. Right now I've got this set to nighttime just for filming, but you can turn it on to automatic and it's going to make it a lot brighter. Okay, and then you can change the brightness there. You can change the contrast here. Okay, if you turn it off, you can set it to daytime or just nighttime, and then you can again adjust the brightness and the contrast here. But for the filming sake, I left it at dark mode just because it's easier to film. On your camera, you can, backup camera, you can change the brightness and the contrast of it right there. Let's go back. Sound in media. All right, so if you want to adjust the sound in the stereo, how do you do it? You have to go into settings, go into media and sound, and then you go to levels, and now you can adjust the auto sound levelizer. And what that does is, as the car's driving, if you're driving faster, you usually have more ambient noise. If you're driving slower, you have less. This adjusts the volume of the stereo to try to keep it the same in your ear. And you can change the sensitivity of that feature from off completely, low, medium, or high. You can change ringtone here. Okay? You can announce a new message. You can do received phone call volume. And I think it goes down a little bit more. System voice. You can hear it's beeping louder or less loud. And then the driving assistant. Okay? So that's where you can make those volume adjustments. Now, for the rest of the radio, this is where you're going to go to sound tuning. You got treble, mid, and bass. And again, it is just, swipe back and forth. Balance and fade is right here. What I love is they just went, and you can hit the recenter button, and it brings it all back to the middle there. Now you can also use the arrows if you want. So that's where you can adjust sound between the auto sound levelizer and sound tuning for the radios. And then under media here, you could say, I don't want to see any pictures. I just want the actual digital numbers. Turn that off. If you like having the pictures show up with your radio channels and your streaming music services, leave that on. All right. Under radio, you can have HD radio for FM and AM. Basically, HD radio is going to hold the signal longer and it's going to be a better reception. Okay? So you can turn those on and off. But what's going to happen is also, if that's turned on and there are no HD FM radios or AM radios, it's not going to find a station. So I've had to turn that feature off before while driving, going, oh, there's no HD radios out here. So, and then I can tune in the regular FM radio or AM. Right? Sirius XM, you can make some changes here. You can block explicit programming, allow for notifications, and then when you start a song, always bring it to the beginning. And again, you can clear your listening history here if you want. All right, I'm not going to go through all of that, but we'll go and come back here. Okay, let's go back. Voice and search. Okay, you can use the wake word if you want. And if you don't want, you can click that off. But with it on, you can do things like, hey, Toyota, tune to 105.5 FM. Tune to 105.5 FM.
105.5 FM.
Yeah, it just took it a minute. It was doing it. And there you go. Okay, so that's really nice. You don't even have to look for a button to push. You just got to remember to say this phrase. But you don't like it, you can turn that off. Voice prompt. Okay, when disabled, the system will respond with beeps instead of voice prompts. So if you don't like how much the vehicle's talking back to you, turn that off right there. Okay, let's look at vehicle customizer. There's a couple of things you can do in your lights. These have an auto on feature. And if you are like me, you probably don't like when they come on. So I like it brighter out when my lights come on, because my lights wait till like it's about pitch black outside before they come on. So I wish I could change that. So if you want them to come on earlier, you set it to brighter. If you want them to come on later, set it darker. Normal is kind of in between. All right, auto off timer. You get out of the car, you want to leave the headlights on for a bit. You have from off to 90 seconds to pick from. Daytime running lights, you can turn that feature off there, but honestly, a lot of insurance companies give discounts, so I leave them on after checking with my insurance company. All right, interior lights. Okay, that one was up there, was the headlights. This is the interior lights. You get in, you close the door. How long do you want the ceiling lights and stuff to stay on? 30 to nothing. Okay, door control. When you get in, you start the car. Do you want it to auto lock when you shift from park into anything? Reverse, neutral, drive. Or do you want it to do it by speed? So when you hit about 5 miles an hour, it locks automatically. Or nope, I want to hit my door locks manually by myself. Then you turn it to off. Auto unlock is the same thing, except for you can do, when I open the driver's door, everything unlocks, or turn that whole system off. Your key fob. The first unlock will unlock the driver's door. The second unlock unlocks everyone's door. Okay? Locked door when open. Smart access. Okay, so when you press the sensor on the handle, is it going to open? This one's going to open driver door only, or you can say, no, I want it to open all 4 doors. So you can adjust that there. Auto relock timer, 60 seconds. Okay, so you unlock it, but you get distracted. How long do you want the vehicle to wait until it relocks the car? You have from it won't, or 120 seconds. Feedback lights, that's when you click the remote. Do you want it to flash its lights at you? If you don't like that, turn that feature off. All right, climate. So in this one, when you turn auto on, it's automatically going to engage the AC mode, even if it's winter, just to keep the air the right humidity level, let's say. So let's go back here. That was vehicle customize. So let's go back and do just under info security. You can have a privacy lock, and then you have to type in a code to unlock it. Okay, you can reset the system in case something really goes wrong, but it's going to remove everything, all your driver profiles, all your favorites, everything is going to go. Okay, software update we mentioned before, but it will tell you if there's an update available. Just so you know, over there updates, which this has, it'll download, but it won't actually update until you're parked. Okay, because it might affect your screens, and they don't want that to happen while you're driving. Okay, under apps here. Okay, if you've had other apps installed and you just want to reinstall them, you can do that. Notification center. No notifications. Okay. And if you had some of that connected services like the personalized mechanic and they give you a health report, you might have some things in there. Just to the left of the steering wheel on the dashboard, you have automatic headlamps. You've got parking sensor turn on or off button, and that's just like if you're towing a trailer. You've got your dashboard brightness and dimness control. That's just a rotary knob, and it only affects your driver screen. Right below that, you've got a button for your 120 volt AC to turn that on or off. You've got another button here to pop the fuel cap. And then below that, you've got your manual trailer brake adjustment. Now, in the center, you've got a drive mode button. And you've got a mode select. So if I change the mode, I can go from sport to normal to eco. Okay, and that's what that does. You do have a button called ECT second. Okay, and what that is going to do is basically it helps with slippery surfaces. It's going to give you a second gear start instead of being in first gear. Okay, and then you've got crawl control. So that's downhill crawl control. Okay, what it does is it automatically modulates the throttle and brakes on 5 low-speed settings so you can keep your focus on the steering. And then down below that, you've got traction control on or off. You can lock your center diff or you can lock the rear axle. And then just to the right of that, you've got 4 high and 4 low selection for your forward drive system. So that is it for the driver's information and the infotainment screens on the all-new 2025 Toyota Land Cruiser. And again, this is the 1958 trim level. We hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.